Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Today, I'll be talking about a wedding that should have never happened. But first, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I also would like your opinion on my take in this situation. It's been going around the internet, so you've probably seen it by now. If you haven't, uh, you might have some comments on it. I'm gonna give you my take at who's at fault here, and you let me know yours. Of course, it's really would be low hanging fruit to blame the bride stuttering through her vows, and that's what she did. You'll see that in the video. She is completely unmarriageable. Okay. However, this situation is absolutely not her fault. It's not her fault at all. I'm gonna show you the clip and highlight which parts of the vow she had trouble with saying, and then I would link the reaction video by the Crimson Cure to that, let her describe it in her own words what she thinks about it. But the clip is going to be small, but I'm gonna put her link to her whole reaction to it in the description. Okay, so what I want you to pay close attention to is what the pastor says and his demeanor. Second, the boyish reaction of the groom to, the willful mishaps by the bride and his clear ignorance of the perils on the other side of the marriage door, because this is clearly an unworthy woman from the marriage standpoint, right? So I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play this thing right now. So just stay tuned to the clip. I'm gonna stop sharing, and I'm gonna share something else for you. It's coming up. Here we go. Here goes.
For poor.
Or poorer. For work.
For richer.
For richer.
For poor.
Or poorer.
For poor.
Or poorer.
For poorer. We hit that snag about 20 times in counseling. Bria made it very clear to Johnson, you cannot be broke. And in health.
And in health.
To love.
To love.
Cherish.
Cherish.
And to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling. Yes, we did. So you want me to repeat that again? You want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going. For work.
For richer.
For richer.
For poor.
Or poorer.
For poor.
Or poorer.
For poorer. We hit that snag about 20 times in counseling. Bria made it very clear to Johnson, you cannot be broke. And in health.
And in health.
To love.
To love.
Cherish.
Cherish.
And to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in
We
counseling.
did talk about that in counseling. Yes, we did. So you want me to repeat that again? You want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going.
Eating healthier.
So let me stop that right there and stop sharing. And you guys got the gist of what went on. And I don't know, how would you feel if you were a husband and you saw your lady treat your vows like it's some sort of joke? I mean, how would you feel? How would you think? What would you think? Would you just be laughing like a hyena, like he is? Or would you be a little bit more concerned about your upcoming nuptials or your upcoming marriage? Listen, so, okay, so you see the clip, right? Did any of you find this funny? Just like everybody else who was laughing. The pastor sure didn't find it funny. One of the keys here is that they had couples counseling. with the pastor, and when he and the groom thought they had a consensus with the bride, and clearly she wasn't on board. And she let it be known that she wasn't on board inside counseling, I bet. It already seems that way. He said he had to go over the thing 20 times. So he thought she was going to go along with it, but she wasn't. You know, so in and itself, counseling is not a bad idea. If you're going to get married and you're from this new generation and you want to have a Christian marriage, both of you should get a copy of the New International Version of Marriage Bible. Read the pertinent sections that you think will be important to you, and talk about it with each other, and then go to a counselor to get some idea of how to really interpret it if you can put those pieces together yourself. So clearly they thought, the man especially thought, hey, they need some counseling. Okay, so but it's clear by the pastor's reaction, the woman has deep-seated issues with the sanctity of the vows, right? The bulk of the blame for this doomed marriage must rest squarely on the groom's shoulders. It's the man, not her. This woman had to be a walking red flag, each of which he ignored. Okay, access to marriage. This is an important point here. Access to marriage is one of the last superpowers that men have to extend to a worthy woman. Unfortunately, all too often, men lead with their emotions and their romanticism and their Johnsons when they're picking a wife. Oh, she's got a fat ass. She's got big, juicy breasts. She looks like she's good in bed. That's not a prerequisite, or that shouldn't be on the top of your list for marriage. Think of some other things that'd be better for you in a long-term marriage besides that. Okay, so, and we could talk about those. Okay, so this leads to a very bad mating choices, such as the example in this video. Now, I heard a rumor, and nobody can really prove it unless you really dig deep, that their marriage lasted 2 years. And we know why. So they say that women divorce men at the rate of 70 to 80% for all kinds of bullshit reasons. That's why they want to try to make sure that no fault divorce ever gets rescinded, which it should. And I think they're thinking about it in Texas. Not so the man can stay married to a woman that doesn't want him. So a man can have some bargaining chip. If a woman wants to leave for bullshit reasons, she shouldn't be able to leave with all your resources. She should not be able to leave. So I wouldn't hold a woman in a marriage she doesn't want to be in. But if there's no fault divorce, she's going to have to tell the judge why she's leaving. Or we could make a negotiation and I'll give her a divorce as long as she leaves my shit alone. So that's where we need to get rid of no fault divorce. Not because we want to keep women. It's because we want them to not leave, be getting their cheeks busted by another man on my dime, in my house, and he's driving my tractor. No, hell no. So no, I have no idea. In the next statement, I don't have no data to back this up. But I say half of these divorces, or that 70 to 80%, would be cut in half or maybe less if men were able to pick better in the first place. Half of these marriages shouldn't have happened. That's why they end in these kind of divorces, because men ain't picking well. You know, men are picking for the wrong reasons, and we got to do better. Men got to do better. The other man at fault for this marriage is the pastor himself. He uncovered the truth about the bride to be in counseling. And instead of being accommodating and objective as a pastor, he did not tell the truth to the couple. They weren't ready for marriage. Clearly, the woman had issues for richer and for poorer. This guy, if he falls on hard times, she's gone. She made it clear that she's gone. She made it clear in counseling that she's not going to stick around in bad times. Right? So you're going to have a lifelong marriage and never going to have no bad times? This chick is going to be going the first sign of trouble. And she's not marriageable for that reason alone. The second one was the way she reacted to not saying obey. She has no plans to obey her husband and his wishes. In a biblical sense, it's not like, come here, baby, do this, do that. It's to obey from a Christian standpoint that this is your husband. Your life needs to cleave around how he's grooming you and for you to be his helpmeet, right? So he's not going to be, she wouldn't do it. And everybody's kikiing and laughing and all that kind of stuff. And and it's easy for me to say now because I wish if something like that would have happened to me, I wish I had enough nuts to just walk off, just walk out of there. Most men wouldn't do that. You might get an annulment, a week or a month later, but at the altar, they'll probably, because whoever paid for the wedding and all that, you go through with the wedding and then have it annulled like maybe a month later. You can't go into a long-term relationship marriage with a woman who doesn't respect you. You just can't do it. So the pastor, here's where I'm coming from with the pastor, right? He knew these things he knew that this was a poor coupling in the sessions he had with them. He should have told them that he's not going to perform the wedding. And he should have told them why. He should have refused to perform the wedding. To the woman, he should have said, hey, listen, you don't even believe in the vows, right? So that alone qualifies you to be married in my church. You don't believe in the vows, so you can't get married here. And to the guy, he should have said that you are so blinded by emotions and your passions, you cannot see clearly that this woman doesn't share your heart for this relationship. She just wants to, be married. She doesn't have no intention of being the kind of woman you want. So for that, I cannot marry either one of you guys. So not in good faith and not in my church, right? Because this will be a union to God under false and misguided pretenses. That's what he should have said. So finally, no one should get married if they can't agree on the purpose and the meaning of the vows. Nobody should get married. So listen, for men out there who might be listening to this, and even some women, go to my video in my previous video on the 10 steps to courting and vetting a woman for marriage. Now, this was directed towards the men, but women, you should listen to this too and make comments on that. It's not too late. I mean, this is my archive. I only have like 40 videos, so it's right there. It's not a complete list. However, there are some useful nuggets you can use and utilize along the way in your journey of bonding with your prospective wife for marriage. Remember, you only have to get this marriage thing right just once. That's all you got to do. You can just find the right woman. You got to cherry pick through the chaff to find the wheat. And if marriage is something you want, you'll do that, right? So, R. Payne, Marriage, Politics, and Sports, over and out.